Hi, welcome to the National Critics' Choice, and today we have a very special guest from Israel, and she's the owner of Pita Pan here in Singapore as well as elsewhere, even around the world. And it's none other than Chef Rina Mushkana.
That's right.
And so, Chef Rina, please tell us though, how do you first start your business, Pita Pan, and why Pita Pan?
Well, the name Pita Pan is pita, as we sell everything inside a pita and own a pita. And the pan is because of our shakshuka, which is a special dish that we bring in from Morocco, and we give it and serve it in a pan. So it's actually to do with food. Surrounding the pita is the pan, or with the pita on the pan, whatever you call it. This restaurant was more for my son. It was since I'm in the F&B business for the last 30 years in Israel. And then my son wanted to do something and venture out into Singapore, where my daughter Serena also is. And I mentioned to my son Kunal, why not Singapore? Why not start with Asia? And why not bring the Mediterranean with a twist of the Middle East? That's what we do over here. And make it pure vegetarian so that we can suit every palate, whether it's halal, whether it's kosher. And as you know, today it's a trend. Vegetarian, people really don't know anything about vegetarian. So over here we're serving about 35 kinds of salads and all our dips, special dips without eggs. And then we make our freshly baked pita breads, which are whole wheat or white flour. And our falafels, which we have different flavors of falafels, whether it's basil, whether it's sun-dried tomatoes. And our falafel also, we don't let you go off with a heavy feeling. Of course, with a full feeling, because you have to have tummy full. But the idea behind this is new, fresh, healthy, trendy, and the bottom line also is very important. So basically, it's mother chef mother, you may call me, behind my children, helping them venture into a new phase where we introduce this kind of food. We started at Marina Bay Sands a year ago, and we've been very successful over there. Now we are opening this week at Marina Square. We hope to be in 5 branches by the end of this year in Singapore. In another 2 weeks we will be open at Venetian, Macau, and then we take this on to Malaysia, to Hong Kong, to India. So there's a growing trend and there's a growing market for vegetarian food today. And I said, why not? It's healthy, it's fresh, and it suits everybody's palate. And we are good for all ages, whether it's children, whether it's older generation or the young set.
And being a chef for over 30 years right now, Chef Rita, can you tell us who was your mentor that inspired you?
Well, I got married at 16, and my Condor Blue was at the ships when I sailed with my husband, who was in the Merchant Marine at that time. So for 9 years I was friends with all the chefs on the different ships that we sailed on, and that was my real basic training to cooking and my love for cooking. It's more my husband behind me who has ventured me on, because I got married at 16 and we really grew up together to venture out to things, whatever I wanted to do. And it's like, you are an artist doing a painting, and that's how cooking is. You have to love cooking, and then you have to demonstrate how to do that recipe and what comes out of it. And I think the final result speaks for itself. I told my son, I said, if Singaporeans like the taste of our food, of our hummus, of our falafels, of our different kinds of salads, we even make 20 different kinds of pickle-based salads, which are made with honey, or which are made with special basil, or made with special tahini sauce, or mango with mustard. Something new. But I think Singaporeans and Singaporia have taken very well to this kind of food. And we are now in a new part of Singapore, which is Marina Square, and I hope we have good luck over here too.
No, we wish you more luck from now on.
Thank
but
you.
Of course, my viewers would like to know what will be your 3 keys to success in life, especially when you first open Pita Pan, which is probably a lot of risk.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. We also have introduced shawarma, vegetarian shawarma, for the first time in Singapore. And people were not aware. They knew shawarma existed, but they knew it was made either out of meat or turkey. But they never thought that shawarma would be vegetarian. So we're introducing vegetarian shawarma to the Singaporeans now. And it's like one step at a time. And moving forward, I think, that's what it is. And really, it's hard work. It's basically believing in yourself first, in what you want to sell and what you want to do. And after that, it is hard work all the way. So, like I mentioned to my children always, in the hospitality industry, leave your ego in the house and come. And see how you can serve your customer, how you can train the Singaporean staff. And what I do basically is, apart from being a chef, I am training Singaporean chefs over here so they can finally take over our kitchens and come out with delicious pita pan, delicious falafels, delicious hummus, and like we said, a pocket full of health. That's exactly what it
And
is.
speaking about a pocket full of health, what was the first menu that you recommend to all Singaporeans and also first timers from outside of Singapore coming to Pita Pan to try your cuisine? What would be the first dish that you recommend?
The pocket, definitely the pocket. The pita pocket, you can go for half or you can go for a full pocket, and you fill it with delicious different kinds of salads, different kinds of dips, falafels, and it can be, if you want to, a half, you can share it, but that's exactly what it is. We have excellent shakshuka, green and red, which is with eggs or with cheese, and of course our shawarma. And I'm selling you my whole menu actually, the Mediterranean platter, and not to forget our lovely drinks which we make with fresh juices and a lot of nana. Nana is a Hebrew word for mint, and mint is a lot of good digestion. So basically, it's a lot of good food and you digest your food properly. So that's how they say in Hebrew, bete avon.
And speaking of good cuisine and enjoyment, what would be the one thing or one dish at least you cannot live without from Pita Pan? Every time that you come back to Singapore or you're back in Israel, what would be the one menu that you cannot live without?
Our falafels. Definitely our falafels. Definitely our falafels. Because firstly, they're made with fresh chickpeas and our different green herbs and made on the spot. I mean, more than 10 minutes, you will not find somebody waiting for falafels. Sometimes people are anxious. They said, why hasn't their falafel arrived as yet? But we always insist that they make the falafel specially on the spot and serve it to you.
Now, there's another question also for homemakers at home here in Singapore as well as outside of Singapore, internationally. Many women would like to ask you the secret of how to make a good falafel. Could you share with us a recipe?
Definitely, sir. You firstly choose your chickpeas. You soak it in the night. Don't add any baking soda to it because that gives you a lot of gripes. And in the morning, with a lot of fresh basil, with a lot of fresh onions, green onions, with a lot of fresh coriander, and with a lot of fresh parsley, you grind it together and you make balls, and you either deep fry it or you bake it, putting a little bit of salt and cumin into it, and you'll come out with delicious falafels.
And speaking about delicious falafels, do you have any plans to create a cookbook or create a master class here in Singapore?
Definitely, a master class and a cookbook to follow. Right now, being very busy, just helping them, being mummy behind the scenes, training the chefs behind in the kitchens. And as soon as I see that I have a little free time, because I visit Singapore 3 to 4 times a year. And right now I've been here for the last 1 month helping my son open Marina Square. I go on now to train our chefs in Macau. But after that, I'm sure I'll be back for the different branches that we hope to open here to make Singaporeans more healthy. And do you know, Mediterranean food is very, very good. Yesterday I heard that Mediterranean food is so healthy that it's good to make the population of Singapore grow, if you know what I mean. So I hope to have master classes, and I hope to have a book out where a housewife can make a lovely Mediterranean, Middle Eastern meal for her family at home. But before that, please come to Pita Pan. Give my children a chance.
Amazing. And folks, please visit the website www.pitapan.com.sg